The Land Rover Defender is one of the world's most iconic off-road vehicles. To celebrate 75 years of the Defender, Land Rover has introduced this new anniversary edition. Now you can get into a Defender from about €87,000. This one will set you back about €123,000. So it is a high-end off-road vehicle. Now just to rewind a little, so the classic Defender went out of production back in 2016 and this new revamped version arrived in 2020. Now some people absolutely adore this version, while others think it's a little bit too SUV. Well, in this video, I want to come to some of my own conclusions about the Defender. I'm Caroline and you're watching the Carzone YouTube channel. If you're looking for a new or used Land Rover from trusted sellers, head over to Carzone.ie, Ireland's trusted motoring marketplace. Before we get into the rest of the video, please hit subscribe to stay up to date with all our latest videos, and please give this video a like as well. It's certainly more SUV in its styling than the original, but I don't think that's actually a bad thing because it broadens the appeal of this Defender beyond just being a working vehicle. And it is just a brilliant modern interpretation of the classic boxy silhouette of the Defender, and lovely iconic design cues and nods to the original, like the circular in rectangular headlamps. I think it just looks so brilliant. It's also come a long way when it comes to power. So would you believe this one is actually a plug-in hybrid? You can drive it like an electric vehicle for up to about 40 kilometers. But if that's not your thing, there are also a range of 4 and 6 cylinder petrol and diesel engines, and also a good old-fashioned 5-litre V8. This is Grasmere Green, which is a special colour for the 75th anniversary edition. And of course, that's an iconic colour for the Defender. You get these matching wheels. They wouldn't be my first choice, I have to say, but I can totally see what they were trying to do here. And that is kind of a classic combination for the Defender. But what do you think of these? Leave a comment and let us know. It wouldn't be a Defender without a full-size wheel on the back. Not many SUVs could pull off that look, but the Defender absolutely can. Of course, this is traditionally a working vehicle, so you can spec it with a tow bar and it can tow up to 3.5 tons. If you go for the plug-in hybrid, it can still tow up to 3 tons, so it's really incredible stuff. The back door is hinged sideways, just like the original. So that's just something worth noting when you go to the supermarket, but it won't matter so much when you're out on the farm, of course, with your Defender. It's a huge boot. You've got over 800 litres, and you won't find any plush carpeting in here like what you might find in a Range Rover Sport. It's all this really durable plastic, so it's really easy to clean. Ideal for an outdoors vehicle like the Defender. There's a few little accessories as well, like a cover. You can also let down this as well from a button, just to make it easier to get things in and out of the boot. There's a few different versions available. So there's the 3-door 90 model, then there's the 5-door 110, and you can get that with 5 seats or an extra 2 seats in the boot. There's also the extra long 130 model, and that has a total of 8 seats. There's loads of legroom and loads of headroom as well because of that boxy design. Even the width of the rear bench is good. So you could absolutely seat an adult here in the middle seat and they would actually be very comfortable. There's a flat floor as well, the width of the cabin, so there's no competition for legroom either. There's loads of amenities on board. There's tri-zone climate control, there's a few USBs. We also have an armrest with cup holders. That panoramic glass roof is an option. It floods the cabin here with light, and of course those alpine windows in the roof as well. The cabin is beautifully designed. It's definitely one of the most rugged feeling cabins of any Land Rover on sale, but there's no compromise to quality in here either. It all feels really durable and really well made. You've got this really nice utilitarian steering wheel. There's also these exposed screws in the door. Because this is the anniversary edition, it gets the Grasmere Green panel in the dash, and you've got Defender etched in that as well. There's loads of storage in this car, big chunky cup holders here, and there's also a little refrigerated compartment down here. You've got lots of luxury features, the synthetic leather upholstery. These seats are heated with a memory function as well. There's a heated steering wheel, there's a premium Meridian sound system, wireless smartphone charging as well. So lots of nice features in this car. It also gets a full digital driver display, and we have the excellent Land Rover Pivi Pro infotainment system, which I do think is one of the best on the market right now. So you've got wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but the native system is actually really nice to use, very clear menus, lots of functionality in that as well. When it comes to the ventilation, you've got dials here, and there's also some buttons to pull up menus quickly and access all the off-road tools in this car. And I think my favourite feature of all is probably this little stubby gear selector here on the dash. The Defender also gets the 3D surround camera, which is absolutely brilliant for off-roading. For example, it's got the clear sight ground view, so it's like having an invisible bonnet. You can see what's directly under the wheels, brilliant for off-roading. And also this 3D view, and you can pull up different views around the car, see exactly where you are, how close you are to things. So that's really brilliant. There's also extensive 4x4 menus as well to help you out when you're off-roading, including wade sensing. So you'll get an alert if you're approaching that maximum wading depth in your Defender. Land Rover is of course famous for building very tough off-road vehicles, and the Defender is the pinnacle of all that. It has permanent four-wheel drive. It also has the configurable terrain response system, so you can move between different modes. For example, sand, snow, mud. There's even a rock crawl setting, and it adjusts the car's settings to best cover that terrain. So it's really easy to off-road in this. It's got a mega wading depth of up to 900 millimeters. It's really incredible. It's got also an all-surface progress control, which is like cruise control for off-roading. There's a hill descent control. You've got brilliant ground clearance, approach and departure angles as well. And you can also, of course, raise this up on its air suspension to get more ground clearance for off-roading. There's nothing rough or agricultural about the way this Defender drives on the road. It is so comfortable. It's on air suspension, this 110 model, so it just covers the road really, really nicely. It's very hushed here in the cabin as well, so you get that high-end refinement. It's also pretty easy to manoeuvre. It's relatively agile for its size. It does feel big once you get into small car parks, but the steering is nicely weighted. It's light enough to make it easy enough to manoeuvre for a vehicle of this size. There are a range of 4 and 6 cylinder petrol and diesel engines. There's also this plug-in hybrid that I'm driving, and it's brilliant. It's a really good match for this car. It actually behaves more like a 6-cylinder engine in the amount of power it has and the way it delivers it as well. So there's 404 horsepower, there's 560 newton meters of torque, and 0 to 100 is 5.6 seconds. So it's really powerful for such a big vehicle, and it moves really nicely over the road. Because it's a plug-in hybrid, it's got a 19.2 kilowatt hour battery on board, so you can charge it and drive it electric for up to about 43 kilometers. Now that's best suited to town driving, and it does help the overall efficiency of the vehicle, but you are going to have to get used to plugging it in and charging it. So it'll take about 2 hours to charge the battery from a 7 kilowatt wall box. And there's also DC fast charging possible as well. It would take about half an hour to get a full battery charge. But it's not the most efficient vehicle in the world. It does get quite thirsty, but if you've spent this much money on a Defender, you're probably not really worried about high fuel bills. The Defender is an expensive machine, but it's hard not to be impressed by it. It's as comfortable, refined and powerful as any modern luxury SUV, and I like how they have kept a rough edge to it with the styling, the interior and of course that legendary off-roading ability. Land Rover does have a lot to celebrate with the Defender. I'm not sure aesthetically if the green on green is the best way to do that, but either way this car will turn heads, and deservedly so. Remember, you can find more Land Rovers for sale on Carzone.ie, Ireland's trusted motoring marketplace. If you liked this video, please give it a like and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all our latest videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.